Listen to this discussion. This is Mr. Wale Adedayo, the former chairman of Ijebu East local government, explaining what actually was the problem why the local government are not functioning in Nigeria. Remember, Wale had an encounter with the present governor of Ogun State, Dapo Abiodun, during his time in office before he was impeached and removed from the office. Many of us kept wondering why is local government that's supposed to be the nearest government to the people are not working and doing what they're supposed to do. From refuse collection to drainages to provision of health services and all the rest. Recently, the government have taken the 36 state governors to court, challenging them why they deliberately made the local government not work, despite the local government being the next government that is closer to the people. Many of us, we know that the state government cannot actually come to see everything in the local government. State government is too far away from the people. Federal government also is so far away from the people. But Mr. Wale Adedayo right here explained in total, in details, problem plaguing Algon, like they call the Association of Local Governments. Listen to this interview conducted or discussion conducted by AIT yesterday. If you are really interested in it, I think you will learn a lot from this conversation. Listen to it. Here they are.
We told you earlier that the federal government had dragged the 36 state governors to court over the weekend, of course, over alleged misconduct, and of course, talking about the fact that the federal government is seeking full autonomy for local governments as a third tier of government, and that's a very critical issue, really. And like we did say in the opening prologue of this program, it's an issue that we have talked about on Kakaki, the African Voice, over the years, looking at the 1999 Constitution and as amended and all of that. And we have joining us this morning someone who has gone through the experience, who has been an administrator at the local level and has first had the experience of what the relationship between the local governments and the state governments is at the moment. Wale Adedayo is joining us. He was a former chairman of Ijebu East local government area. He's joining us virtually right now. Thank you very much, Wale, for joining us.
I was a former chairman.
Wale, good to see you. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. It's been a while. Okay, so let us get into this discussion, really. Your experience is something I think we should start with. It will seem like the AGF today is joining your call for autonomy of local governments. Could you share a bit of your experience when you started this call?
Yeah, I think talking about the suit, let's take the suit first by the Attorney General. I don't think it's, what I see there, basically, there are a few things there, but I think the autonomy thing, I don't think it can work through the Supreme Court. It's a constitutional matter. There is no autonomy for the local government in the Constitution. What I experienced as a local government chairman is something that no conscientious Nigerian who is in an elective office should experience. Because before you become chairman or get to an elected position, you must have promised the people that you will do this, you will do that, and so on. Getting to office, you don't get a dime for the work you were elected to do. For God's sake, I mean, you feel frustrated, you feel as if you are in another planet. And in Ogun State, it was not like this before. But this period is certainly bad. Tragically, we seem to have people who are so scared of those in authority But everything local government ought to do is being done by the state government. And the local government chairman, we have 20 local governments in Ogun State. We've been complaining for more than a year. And we've been talking to some leaders here and there. Sadly, in Ogun State, it seems as if APC doesn't have quality leaders, with due respect to those who are there. Because none of them has ever come in to intervene and talk to Mr. Governor that what he's doing is wrong. Because it was not like, I've worked with the governor before, and I know how this thing goes. So the thing is, during this period, everything is completely different. If you come to Ogun State, and those who live here will tell you, those who live in Ogun State will tell you, not just my local government alone, it's as if no local government is working. A few things that people are doing is just cosmetic. We go out of our way, maybe borrow money, beg some people to do one or two things. The normal monthly allocation is not coming. And in the constitution, there's a certain percentage of the state IGR that should be going to to the local government. 10% of whatever the states make in a month ought to be given to the local government. That one too is zero. Before President Buhari left the place, he made some emergency funds available. More than 10 billion for Ogun State alone, but not a dime got to any of our local governments. The whole thing was just hanged in Abeokuta, that's the state capital. None got to the local government. So it's been a very, very terrible and disappointing experience. Because some of my friends were telling me that, Wale, Jebi, we told you shouldn't have gone. I said, no. If you want to serve, the best place to serve is the local government. Not House of Assembly, not National Assembly, not anywhere. It's the local government, because that is where you have the majority of poor people. And me, as an Afenifere, I prefer that background. I prefer that very, very grassroots.
Now, Wale,
you see people who...
Wale, hang on, please. When you say not a dime got to the local government, what exactly do you mean? As in, the period you were there, you didn't get any money to run the local government, or that what you got was not what was allocated to you?
That's what I'm telling you, because the reality is that some of their media goons could come out tomorrow and say blah, blah, blah. The books are there. Let the EFCC have submitted a petition to the EFCC. I don't know what they are doing about it. Let them do a forensic audit. Where's all the money gone? They don't give us money they will say they are paid salary. Yeah, normally we have the monthly allocation meeting, but at that meeting is just like a briefing. A meeting is supposed to be a discussion between two parties, or 2 or 3 or more parties, but it's not a meeting per se. It's just like a briefing. They'll come there, distribute some this thing for us, some papers for us. Of course, before you sit, you will have signed that you attended the meeting. You signed before the meeting starts. You will have signed that you attended the meeting, making everything discussed there something that you agree with. They'll bring that paper, how much came in and how much has been spent. That's how it's done. It's not as if we go there and then this is what is due to your local government. It will be credited to your local government account tomorrow or next. Okay, we have paid salary, we have paid union dues, we have paid this. It's not your responsibility, for God's sake. It's ours. We are supposed to do it so that whatever is remaining, the balance, we use it to do projects for the people in our respective local governments. That is not being done in Ogun State at all. It's zero. The whole thing is handled by the state government. Not a dime comes to us as a local government, at least for the period I was there. Not a dime comes to us. And in the particular instance of my case, we've been having meetings. I'm talking about the local government chairman, but it got to a point that the Algon chairman in Ogun State called me that a few of them had a meeting. They've agreed on some things like we've been discussing before. Wale, you are the only journalist among us. Why not put all these things together and let's roll with Chief Oshoba? Maybe he's going to answer all this time around. So I coupled the things together, I edited it and sent to Chief Oshoba. Unfortunately, a senior colleague that we've been discussing on the Ogun State matter before, he's also from Ogun State. He's based with you there in Abuja, but he's very, very senior to me as a journalist. He now sent it to the media. We didn't send to the media, but we all agreed on it, the chairman. But of course, when the whole shit now hit the fan, everybody backed out. I'm coming from a different background. I mean, I cannot be scared of any earthly authority. They were all scared. So they went back. And I told them, look, this man cannot remove even 10 local government chairmen at a go. But they were so scared. I don't know what's making Nigerians to be afraid. And meanwhile, this money is not personal money. It's not meant for me, Wale Adedayo. It's not meant for any of the local government chairmen as personal money. It's money meant for development of our respective areas in accordance with the promises we made during elections. So if somebody is blocking that, for God's sake, whatever it takes to reach out to people, to shout out, you should do it. But my colleagues were just scared. Until tomorrow, they are still scared. Their tenure should end by next month. Now, so after that, what happens? If you want to go to another position, what are you going to tell the people that you've done in the last 3 years? What excuse are you going to give? But to me, they are just scared, and I think it's our thing in Nigeria that when problems come to authority, people are always scared.
Wale,
that's just it. My experience has been very, very bad. Very bad.
Would you say, Wale, would you say that this experience is similar to what other local government chairmen, not just in Ogun State, but maybe across other parts of Nigeria, are going through?
I want to believe that throughout the 774 local governments in Nigeria, it should be virtually the same thing. But I learned that in Kaduna State, when El Rufai was there, he was doing the right thing. I don't know if that is still being done in Kaduna State. That is the only state I can single out. That is Kaduna State. They were getting their money, unless somebody from there will say contrary to what I've just pointed out now. But I'm sure that the experience cut across, because I've had chairmen, they've been calling me from the southwest, from south, even from the middle belt. There was a time I was in Abuja, a few of them called me from but that of Kaduna, I heard about that when El Rufai was governor, he was doing very, very well, which is a local government chairman. He was doing the normal thing, allowing them to get their allocations and even adding extra for them so that they can do projects in their respective local. But in Ogun State, it's not like that. It's not even the local government chairman in Ogun will tell you. The people at the grassroots, they will tell you what is going on. Because normally if a local government is functioning, the economy we have now, given the situation of our economy, there should be a reprieve for people from the local government, because there will be small jobs, what people call contracts. Okay, go and roof this school. That school is broken down, private primary school is broken down. You go and do it. Okay, that primary healthcare center has problems. You go and do it. There is no way either a carpenter or a bricklayer that goes there will make money from that thing, and that money will not go back to the local economy. But that is not happening. And everybody is blaming Abuja, president. No, the governors are messing up. That's the truth.
Okay, key points you've raised, Wale. But let's look at it. You said something earlier that it's not about AGF going to the Supreme Court, that the Supreme Court may not be able to do anything.
That's about autonomy.
Yes,
autonomy.
Yes, but then the Attorney General is asking the Apex Court to invoke sections 1, 4, 5, 7, and 14 of the Constitution to declare that the state governors and state house assembly are, obliged to ensure democratic system at the third tier of government. So, is it just about the autonomy that you're worried about that the Supreme Court will not be able to address? What of other aspects, other aspects of the summon and the plea that the AGF is asking for?
Other aspects, they are okay, but it's the autonomy, because if you go to section 162, subsection 6 of the Constitution, the joint account for local government and states is clearly stated in the Constitution. But it takes a governor with conscience, a governor who believes in God, a governor who believes that he's there to serve the people on God's behalf. Because when people are praying, I laugh most of the time, because they go to church, they go to mosque, and people are suffering, you are not bothered. For God's sake, where do you think you are going to end up? You're not going to live 1,000 years here like Methuselah now. If you are there to serve the people, if you really believe that tomorrow you are going to die, or there's a day you are going to die and give account to God, whatever is due to the people, you have to give it to them. Let them have it so that their lives can improve. When they are praying to God, it's not as if God will come down. God is going to use people who are in all these offices to sort out the problems of people. And if you are not allowing yourself to be used of God, that means you are anti-God, you are against God. That's the way I look at it. But on the question of autonomy you spoke about, I don't think it will run in court. But caretaker committee, of course, is illegal. It's outside of the Constitution. If a government is not democratically elected at any level in Nigeria, that government is illegal. So I agree that funds should not go to such local government. But when you are talking about these funds, it is in the Constitution. There will be a state and local government joint account committee. It's clearly stated in the Constitution. So I don't think that one can fly. But the thing is, we need, if that directive can come, that our governors should develop conscience. For God's sake, the money is not personal money of local government chairmen. They are not the only ones there. You have civil servants, you have councillors. So the thing is that, we go to church, we go